Completely selling off. Guess I can get the prepped in the meantime. So I have it up. Let's see if anything pops up for the 7 o'clock. Very slow start to the day again. Biggest gapper being up only 40%. All the stocks that ran yesterday ended up selling off too, so very concerning. Okay. Okay, positive data. This one did spike. And it held up. We had a spike a few days ago on this, and it ended up rolling over. Oh, so they announced a direct offering here. No, so they announced, let's see. Yeah, they announced a catalyst and then immediately after did an offering. So that's what this was. So this thing was curling, but then it offered. This sells off on low volume. This kind of shows that it had a bounce potential from a few days ago. maybe like 1022s. So we see a sudden drop down. Do something like that. This doesn't look terrible. This range is very, very wide. I'm still looking for like something like this. Oh no, that was a pretty bullish breakdown. We're in there at 10-11. All right, clean first trade. Wow, this thing ended up going up another 50 cents after that. Powerful. Yeah, so the reason I took that, I was looking at the 5-minute from a few days ago, where this stock had a similar move. And on this one, this was before the offering, which happened here. So without the offering from this range, it ended up recovering whenever it sold off on low volume. Seeing as how this breakdown was on lower volume than the initial pop, that gave me conviction to take the trade there. It was right at around $10 too after this extension. Maybe I could have sold half and tried to look for a bigger move. But I mean, that's still a pretty solid hit. Good morning. Starting off with a nice trade. Good morning, Hope and Flight. I mean, I wasn't even expecting to hit a trade right off the bat here. This morning has been incredibly slow. At least from the looks of it. Like, I'm just looking at the scanners and everything is like 40% or less as far as the overall move. And I looked at all the stocks from yesterday too. And from what I can tell, not a single stock that moved yesterday is holding up well. BKYI ended up completely rejecting. RECT, that was the one I was kind of stubbornly getting in yesterday. I really wanted to see how this one would do, because I ended up, I bailed here, right? I tried catching this for the reversal, and I ended up bailing here. And this thing just completely just gave everything back. So, definitely Definitely glad to see that I made a good call on that. Oh, good job, man. So there was an offering a few days ago. I don't know if it's closed yet, but that's something to keep in mind, right? So 5 days ago, they announced an $8.1 million offering. The price was $11.21. Then they have another for 11. So anywhere from 11 to 11.21, expect resistance, and we are seeing that because we're seeing resistance form right here at 11 to 11.20s. So if it breaks and holds above this, that might signal that those that got in are in profit, so the downward pressure might be lower. But it needs to break and hold above it. This first pop isn't safe in my opinion. Just because anytime it pops above, there's going to be people who are in from the offering that would be selling. I would actually much rather buy around 12 or 12.50. Just so I'm well above it. And I would want price to establish above it before I buy. It's just what I would do. This breakdown was on extremely... This full move down was on 8,000 shares. It's quite a strong move for such low volume. Feels weird to me. I don't think I want to be a buyer right now. Both of these candles were on very light volume. So that's bullish. The fact that it rejected at what was probably a critical resistance is interesting. If this breaks back above 11.20 again, if it goes to like 11.50, 12 and it can hold up there for a few minutes, that really signals to me that there's enough buying pressure that it might be enough to overpower the dilution. But like buying here, you're running into the wall at 11.20. At least that's what I think. Well, I guess technically the first wall at 11, because that's the first... that's the second offering, and then there's the 11.20, which was the first offering. So those would be the two levels to watch. And it would make sense, too. right? When price broke above 11, it went straight through 11 and 11.20. Both the people that bought in those areas would just start dumping, and we saw high volume followed by an immediate rejection. So it makes sense. PYPG. This one also looks kind of interesting. It's a little bit higher price, though. Volumes... Relative volume is higher. It's not crazy high, though. No news either. What's this saying? Leverage. Is this like a leverage ETF? Okay, this is... Oh, this is leverage for PayPal. What is PayPal doing? Just curious. Ooh, okay. So, yeah, this is just PayPal news then. Okay. Yeah, sometimes I'll see a stock and I won't realize it's a leveraged ETF. And then I'm like trying to think of the trend, and you just got to look at the source. Yeah, it's bullish that it's really testing this 11. I just don't know if I trust it. As for the offering amount, the offering size wasn't that big, right? It was 200,000 for the 1121. And then it was another 480,000 for the 11. Right? So that's only like, what, 600, 700,000 shares. So it's not a crazy high dilution. But it might be enough. Bit of a breakdown here. I think I would feel okay trying to catch something around 960s. Volume is picked up a little. It's only 17,000 though. Yeah, volume's still fairly light. Safer. It did make a pretty big leg down though. I should probably play it safer. I'll just throw it out there. I might cancel and get it at 960s. A lot of volume went through there at 10. So 10 is a point of interest. I mean, to be fair, it also bounced here at 10, so that makes sense. Yeah, 10 is clearly a point of interest. Yeah, I think my 940s entry is a little safer, actually. If 10 really is the point of interest, a hard rejection there would be around 940. Seeing this laddering down, if we ever do see a 1 minute high, very telling if it actually holds up. Because yesterday we were seeing this ladder down on a bunch of stocks where the 1 minute high just wasn't resolving. Yeah, I think I'm not going to take this 1 minute high. I think I'd rather wait for the next leg to the downside. Okay, 8,000 volume on the new high. Not great follow through. We'll see if more volume comes in. So 9,000 on the 1 minute high. See what the volume looks like here. Being 3 minutes after the 1 minute high and it just going sideways on low volume, not really what you'd want to see. Getting more bearish by the second. All right, we got 3 minutes till the half hour. If this doesn't end up breaking down, hopefully we'll see something else popping up. The problem is, too, is even if this does end up making a 1 minute high, I really don't want to buy into this. It wouldn't look terrible, but the fact that we're running into dilution levels, to me, I just don't really want to take that risk, especially in this cold market. I'd rather just wait for a better opportunity. Yeah, I would only want to trade the downside of this, not the upside. Yo, good morning to you, sir. How are you doing this morning? Taking any trades yet, or are you waiting just as much as I am for the most part? I'm looking at the 5 minute for the last few days. We have a lot of support around the 940 level. Also, it's a psychological level at 950. So sometimes you'll see it where it'll break below on low volume to try and force people to bail out before reversing. So this is more of a knife catch if it's gonna go straight from here to 944. But otherwise, I want to see how it approaches 944. So like if we see massive volume, I'm actually going to cancel this and get out of the way. But if we see this, like right now, the volume's not terribly high. So if we see this continue down to 944 while the volume remains low, to me, that's a signal that it might be overextending. That combined with the support and the break of the psychological support, to me, all those work well together. At least that's the idea. It did end up working here. It worked better than I thought here. And I ended up bailing out entirely. I didn't take half off. But to be fair, this was a pretty decent winner. I may have actually oversized on this first trade. This may have been appropriate to do 1/4 size. Pola. Okay. Man, you always find these like a minute before they pop up for me. All right, let's see. There is news on it. Military contract. That's not bad. There's a lot of volume on that. Yeah, on that move it just made there, the volume was around 50,000. It's not really reassuring. Okay, this candle is officially higher than this one. Although it hasn't continued down from there. That's not terrible. So the first 50,000 pushed it down. The second 50,000 brought it back. It does look good. Bit iffy though. The setup wasn't the cleanest. But as far as catalyst and volume goes, but then you get this. This looks nasty. And you get... So the reason I didn't jump in there was we had the 50,000 pushed down. It looked like it might have recovered because the other 50,000 brought it back. But to me, that just looked a little bit too unclean. And then seeing this just looks nasty, right? Massive volume, huge spike down. I mean, the catalyst is solid. I just don't know if I can trust it after this candle. So we had another 1 minute high here. Rejection wasn't as hard this time. This still looks so unclear to me. Like, it's two signals. I think I just need to watch this one. The only reason I'm somewhat optimistic is it has a good daily chart and good catalyst. The actual chart setup looks extremely choppy. Nice break there. I'm getting in there. Only half size, though. I sold half. There's such a large... No, I'm getting out. There was a large seller that kept popping up. I got a bit spooked out of that one. Looks like it might have been the right call, too. Yeah, so I got in here because I was noticing a pattern where this first 1 minute high, we had a strong rug. The second 1 minute high, we had a weaker rug. And then this next 1 minute high, we barely had any kind of pullback at all. So I was seeing this as a sort of curl. I was really hoping we'd do 125, which was the first target. And then I was aiming for 140 for the second target. But after I sold the first half and price came back... Yeah, no, I mean, it was only a $5 winner. If I had sold all of it at 520, that would have been a solid base hit. This was like maybe just one base hit, like a first base. It could have been two bases if I sold everything there, but you can't time that. And honestly, in hindsight, I think that was great that I got out. Even if this recovers, seeing the large seller and seeing the price starting to drop, I think it was the right call to get out. Curious if it's going to actually end up reversing entirely. Still bullish on this. The volume has been picking up too. These last three candles were very high. Clearly resistance here. Punch it here again. Again, half size. I'm taking on a bit more risk here, but I'm looking for a pretty substantial move with this one. That was a pretty bullish reversal. Breakdown on low volume and instantly recovered. Hmm. I'm gonna add here. Yep. Large seller. Hmm. I managed to dodge most of that, but it's the same thing as over here. EDSA. Okay, this came out a minute ago. Very whiplashy. Positive phase 3. Okay. So it's a bit higher. SBFM is also moving. A lot of bio stocks. Here, let me log this one real quick. Really thought this was going to break out on Pola. Hmm. Greatest fill. Small hit there. SPFM. I caught it a little bit early just because I didn't get a great entry on the bottom. Oof, geez, Pola just died. Wow. The momentum shifted really quick on this one. Good job on EDSA. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you go long on this, it's pretty hard to lose money, I guess. Good stuff. What a nasty pull on that one. 370 down to 320 in 1 minute. Oh. Oof. What was the cause of this? Nasty spike down on that. Holy crap. Did get a full fill on that second one. I mean, I captured part of that flush, so... Nasty, nasty flush on that. Got it. Yeah, EDSA. I caught some of that flush on that. SBFM, similar. What the heck is going on today? My God. Take high size on this one. Yeah, no, two flushes on back-to-back stocks is very strange. And it was almost the exact same time, too. Like, I gotta reduce size a little bit. I clearly didn't hit the bottom. Yeah, the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm not really liking SBFM position I had. Yeah, that was... What the heck? I mean, I managed to survive both of the flushes, but oh my God, I did not expect that level of volatility. Very, very rough. This one's kind of hard to do the math on. I'll go back and correct that if I need to. Put a star on it. Might be inaccurate. Hey, I'm sorry to hear that, man. It's... Yeah. Both Canadian companies? That feels so suspicious. Like... Right, emails. Both of them just moving, and they were both on news, too. It's not like there was no news. But then they both rug within 5 minutes of each other. It just feels so suspicious. I should be thankful I'm not red right now. SSKN. Oh, you just called it. Yep, thank you. Yeah. No, those kind of moves make me afraid to touch anything. Another biotech. And those were both biotechs that also failed, right? I mean, look at... Oh, I just want to jump back. EDSA is still going down. Very brutal. Now I'm even afraid to touch anything right now. Like, I don't even want to touch this. I'm going to keep both of those on a side chart. I just want to see how they perform for the rest of this morning. I feel like I'm on edge right now. WULF is making a move, or at least it was. Very volatile. Okay, this is just quarterly results. Looks like Chop City to me. Calling it a day. Yeah, no, $20 up on 20 shares. Yeah. I'm gonna keep looking. Yeah, I'll probably stay until 9 still. The market's definitely moving more, but just... It's not as cold as yesterday, but just those two rug pulls really kind of just scare the crap out of me. Making me very afraid to take any risk. Because on Pola, I was pushing Pola. Right? I bought here and I actually averaged up. 5. No, I averaged down. So it was a slight average down. I was really looking for the pop and the push to 550, 575. So that was a very aggressive setup I was trying to align. And it just didn't work. Luckily, I saw the red flag of a large seller that gave me the conviction to kill the trade. But SBFM, what is this? Like, I mean, I guess maybe something else that could have happened, right, is so EDSA fell first. And then a few minutes later, SBFM fell. They had a similar thing. They were Canadian, both biotech. So maybe this was just people seeing the similarity and bailing, even though maybe the catalyst was fine. Like, there could have been legitimate sellers on the other stock, but that fear may have carried to here, causing this overextension. And that might be why it's recovered. That could be a thing. I'm not touching this one anymore today. This one... No, those two are just... I'm done with them for the day. FRGT is getting some volume. How many shares is this? Pretty low float. This is significant volume. Polo's continuing lower. Very high volume on this too. SSKN looks too choppy for me. Yes, that's right. That's right. Gotta watch the captain lose the $19 I still have. No, yeah, it's... If we don't see anything after the 8:30 catalysts, then I might call it early. 'Cause I think I'm in a state right now where I don't want to take anything unless it's very, very clean. Have we had anything that's like moved more than 50%? I mean, it's like currently holding at 50. Like, we have this. So, okay, I get we have one stock that's holding above 50. But everything else, it feels like it's just kind of not worked. I mean, this is like the best stock that I can see right now out of the ones I'm watching, and it just... This just doesn't feel impressive to me. Like, what is this even up? Like, it's up 13%, and this is the best thing I can find. That's some decent volume here. Take a stab there. I think I add from that. I think I just hold. Jesus, getting caught in everything rough today. Got it there. Struggling too much. Brutal. So it did end up popping back to break even, but I mean, my thesis was invalidated. I was really looking forward to make just another 1 minute high and pull away. It's really tough to say, too. I mean, I'm green today, so like technically I haven't done anything wrong, but it feels like it's more of a luck thing right now because a lot of these stocks they're just rolling over and not doing anything. Right, I'm looking at the stocks I traded earlier and all of them are down right now. So it could just be the case that we're just seeing nothing hold. Actually, even after this, it just completely reversed back. Yeah, I don't know. It's a rough one. All right, we got 10 minutes till the half hour. Hopefully we'll see some other stocks come into play because I don't really want to touch any of these ones I've been trading today. FRGT is still kind of moving. Right, the volume's still, I mean, for the float, this is still pretty high. That hot market can't come fast enough. VSEE is moving. It's a bit too cheap for me though, so I'm not going to trade it. Yeah, I saw that one too. Or VSE. It's too cheap. Yeah, I think we're just waiting for the half hour at this point. EDSA is curling, but I don't trust it. After the rug pull, I'm not touching that one. Okay, this is still kind of going back down. I sold at 87, so I didn't even sell. Like, this wasn't like a terribly executed trade. I didn't lose a lot on it. Yeah, the main issue is that on this pullback, the volume was somewhat elevated, so there was probably distribution going on here. Looks justified. Hmm. I'm surprised I'm still alive, honestly, after being in both of those rug pulls and being green somehow on the day. How many trades have I taken today? It's been a bit more. 7 trades, but I guess I can make sure this one's actually right while I'm waiting. So 754. Okay, so EDSA, I made $3 on it, so this needs to be equal to $3 worth. So I'll just adjust it so that it's about that. That's close enough. Hey, this thing's still going down too. I'm just waiting for the half hour at this point. Gem is also kind of moving. I don't know if I called that one out. But, another penny stock. If you're interested in that. Oof. Man, what the heck? This is just, it's just such a horrible day today. Just nothing is holding. Somehow this week is panning out to be worse than last week. Last week it was cold, but at least stocks weren't rugging and just giving the entire thing back right away. This one, this is moving on high volume, but float's way too high. It's not actually way too high, but I don't think I'm going to touch it. It's not quite what I'm looking for. A little under 5 minutes till the half hour. DJTU. Oh, it's just DJT's probably moving. Yeah. What was this on? Trump's AI images on social media, tracky, disturbing, unpresidential. And then the stock just pumps on that. Yep, that sounds about right. Oh no, no, that wasn't even live. Okay. Yeah, this is just pumping for some random reason. There's probably something came out that just isn't reported yet. What is the float on this? Okay, no, that's way too high. I can't touch that. Waiting for the half hour. Minute to go. All right, let's see if anything pops up. YBN. All right, so the stock's moving. There is news. Announces 175 million registered direct offering. And why is it pumping on that? It seems like it should have tanked, not popped. So 651 was the offering. Why is this? Why did this pump? This doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I just don't touch this. The news catalyst doesn't even make sense. Right, and that's like 20 million. Like that's a sizable dilution too. Yeah, of course it goes down. The mere fact this thing even popped up makes no sense. Especially in a cold market like this. This should have been like an insta flush. Still watch it to see if it does anything interesting, but I'm not going to trade it. At least not above 650. If this goes down like some crazy like 6 or 550 maybe. ARQT is moving. It's a bit higher priced, but volume's very light. There is a news catalyst though. How many shares are there? So many. Massive spread. Why is this thing not just rolling over? I mean, there was nothing else to it. Hmm. Yeah, I don't understand it. Yeah, I'll wait a few more minutes, but if I don't see anything, I think I'm going to call it here. I don't want to be trading a stock that has literally just announced a direct offering, and that's the best setup. The SEE is still running, if anyone was watching that one. Again, I'm not going to touch it. It's too cheap. But it's running. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it here. I waited 10 minutes after the half hour. Nothing's moving. Best thing we have is this secondary offering that for some reason hasn't completely rejected. Very strange. I'll at least put this on the watch list so I can see how this performed for tomorrow. Because I don't know why this wouldn't immediately go down to 650. Yeah, I mean, you have to do base hits. I mean, it's just been cold. We've been in this cold stretch for almost 2 weeks now. It actually might have been 2 weeks at this point. It's just been really cold, and it's hard to squeeze anything out of this. I guess I should be thankful, right? There were two major rug pulls today, and the fact that I'm still green, I guess I should be thankful for that. $11 is basically, or 10.54. It's basically one base hit trade for me. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see how tomorrow goes. I'm not really, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not really that looking forward to tomorrow. After last week was cold, but we were at least having some things move a little bit. This week so far, these first 2 days, it's actually felt even colder than last week, at least from my subjective experience. But yeah, we'll see how Wednesday goes. Hopefully we can see some kind of pivot. I mean, it can't really go much lower than this. I guess the only thing worse than this would be is if we saw nothing at all. But yeah, good luck to those of you who are going to keep trading. I'm calling it here. I'm done trying. You guys have a good one. I'll do the recap later. And yeah, have a good rest of your day, everyone.